is good, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Weekday Wagers. My name is Mark Wallace. I am so glad, so happy that you found us, you're joined us, you're following us, you're subscribed. You've already liked this video on your way in. Thank you very much. We are very, very extremely grateful and so happy that you are sharing part of your day with us, right? I mean, I think it's a great choice. Anyway. Look, we have got a jam-packed Wednesday for you. It's Wednesday here at Weekday Wagers, which means one and only thing. We got Robby's radar coming up. But before we get to that, because that'll be happening here in about 5 minutes, before we get to that, we do have to look at what happened yesterday. And you know what? I'm going to put an asterisk on Robby's X there. Simply because he gave out Mikhail, I'm not even going to, he's the master of the Russian names. I am not. He gave out that play for a point. He also gave out an alternative play of over his 1.5 shots on goal. That play cashed. So really, I think we got a check and a half. I don't know that we can say that. The Czechs and Russians get along? I don't know. Anyway, I'll ask Robby here in just a second. The other thing that we did is we cashed last night's People's Parlay. That's right, a nice plus for 223. That's not even the right graphic. That's why that is so crazy. You know what? Stop the madness. Robby, help me here. What the hell is going on? How's your Wednesday?
It's rolling, definitely rolling. Yeah, I know my leg was Tim Stutzel in that, and it hit. I can't remember the other two legs, but I just know I woke up to a green check mark on that play at least.
That's right. You know what? It was, who did I have? I know the chat had UConn. You had Tim Stutzel for a point. I'm trying to think who I had. Oh, I had Michigan State minus 2.5. All in easy cash. That was a plus 161. Start voting now. It's in there. Make your selections. You will find that it's Xavier plus 7.5. And that is going to get you a plus 189 parlay. We have Cooper Flagg to score 20 or more points. That's going to get you plus 198. And then the Brooklyn Nets on the money line is a plus 275. I won't ask you who you like on that one. We'll find out here shortly what the chat decides. That is their pick. And look at this. Speaking of the chat, Mr. Derek, yo. Look, so glad you could join us, that you found us. I hope work's going well. And I don't know if you heard this, but it is Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
I didn't mess that up?
No, you're right. You are right.
Good. And last night, there was some incredible hockey that was played last night. First of all, it was a weird night. We had 7 or 8 teams on the second of a back-to-back night. But your Nashville Preds, you're repping that gear. Wow, what a game. Your thoughts?
Oh, I love it when I can cash tickets from players from the other team, and then my team still ends up winning, which is what happened last night. Tristan Jarhead is what I'm going to call him, comes out of the net, and my captain, Roman Josi, puts one right by him to seal it in overtime. What a great game. Draisaitl, 2+ points, cash it. McDavid, 2+ points, cash it, and a Draisaitl goal. So, and I personally, I would never publicly take the Preds over Edmonton, but I personally bet on my boys to get the job done, and they did.
Nice. Also want to point out, and Nate, you and I were talking about this right before we came on. The Ducks, who the hell were they last night?
They had half their wings clipped. They didn't even have half their players on their team, and still came away with a win.
That was a great game to watch. I think that you were talking before about these back-to-back games and the way that the schedule is set up, that there's so many of them on certain nights for whatever they are back-to-back heavy. How do you approach those games from like a player prop standpoint? You start looking at that. Do you start to fade teams automatically or do you lean into them?
I'm about to, because Tampa Bay had a clear layup, should have dominated a Pittsburgh team, one that's already bad defensively. Then they're missing Erik Karlsson. Sheloff was in net, who's not that great. And I thought, I know it's a back-to-back. Braden Point's hurt, but Kucherov and Darren Radish and those boys are going to put some on Pittsburgh tonight. Nope. One goal is all Tampa scored, and it was enough to get them a shootout win. That game was terrible. I thought Pasternak was going to have a bigger game. He got a point, but he didn't do anything else. And then Geeky, I don't know. He must have had new dad strength's already gone. He must be up late at new baby. So that one kind of fell through. But I think from now on, I'm going to be fading more because last night was just Tuesdays are good for us, especially on ice. And it was just a lot of player props, a player prop perspective that just a lot of guys didn't come through that I thought had good matchups. But they're on that second night of a back-to-back, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
Gotcha. I know for me, I was watching that Edmonton-Nashville game for one, and then I flipped right over after that one ended so bizarrely, by the way. What is Jari doing coming that far out? You know, it is stupid. But the game really that I think most impressed me was that Columbus Blue Jackets game where they came out and really kind of fell in line. I mean, the Blue Jackets won in the three-way money lines. They cashed my ticket last night. But they played with a fire and actually got through a third period without blowing the lead.
Yeah.
Is that just the initial kind of bump that you get with a head coach? Or do you think that this is the team now starting to turn the corner or at least taking a step in the right direction towards playing to their levels of expectation?
So they still had their mental errors. They still got their PK is terrible because every time they would get ahead, they'd draw a penalty and then they would let Calgary score on them again. So I think at one point in the third, it was still tied 3-3. And then finally Columbus got that last one and then got, I think, the empty netter. But
yes,
I will say guys like Kent Johnson is a guy you haven't heard from all season who was great last year. I think the new coaching regime is going to help him out. He logged 20-plus minutes of ice time last night, and I think it's the first time all season that he did that. So I think you're going to see some guys, their game's going to elevate with the new head coaching regime, but you know, he's only been there a day. So let's give him a couple more days. It is good that they did get the win, and they should have got the win against the Calgary team. And hell of a call by you. As soon as you said that, and I was thinking new coach, I've got an automatic bet Columbus Blue Jackets. And you had them at a great price yesterday as well against a bad team.
Yeah, and again, it was a three-way that I decided, look, they're going to come out and they're just going to play a solid 60 minutes. And from a Blue Jacket standpoint, a level, that's exactly what they did. I think they really did exceed what they had been doing all season long. So I was real happy with that. And speaking of cash tickets, Big Cheesy. Dude, okay, first of all, I'm going to call a quick timeout. I don't remember ever seeing a 5-hammer play. So I think we're adding hammers to that. I think it may have been I think the champagne was 4 hammers. I don't know that I've ever seen a 5-hammer play from Big Cheesy. His Zengun, PRA also cashed last night. He was dropping those plays in the chat for us yesterday. So those went. He's saying watched yesterday. I've gone over that video. I'll go back again and double check. But listen, it is Wednesday. And Wednesday here, honestly, we did not know if we were going to be able to do this segment simply because it was like, it's getting to that time of year where things get really, really tight and it's hard to find those edges. But let me tell you this. If there's anybody who has been able to find edges and can bring them to us, it's this guy sitting right next to me. This is a little segment we like to call Oh, gotta love that. I love that. It's got a whole X-Files feel to it for some reason. I don't know why, but I like it. And all right.
Yeah.
So last week, let's talk about this. Last week, all these guys were shirtless in what looked like it was literally a fireman's calendar edition. Mm-hmm. We have Brandon Cooks of the Bills they're playing in Denver. And is this This is a wrestling outfit, right?
Yeah. Do you remember the guy? We went over these. Do you even remember his name? Who he's portraying?
Don't have the first clue.
Gotcha. So it's mainly Xavier Woods, but if you look at the Solo Cup, it kind of gives me a little primetime players feel too. But mainly that is Xavier Woods right there. That's who he's portraying.
So is it
the New Day?
Is this a kind of a mashup between the two wrestlers?
The Solo Cup. That's the only thing that draw me to the primetime players. Everything else is full on Xavier Woods.
All right. So listen, why do we like Brandon Cooks?
Well, I'd hate to take a statement from Josh Pate, but in the year of our Lord and Savior 2026, yes, we are talking about Brandon Cooks and a wide receiver 1 potentially in the playoffs. Yes, that's exactly who we're talking about. Look, man, he's been their go-to guy for Josh Allen. You and I were talking about it yesterday. Yeah. His lines are really low. There's more than just one line that you can play with this guy. Buffalo going to be in a tough environment in Denver. They're stout against the run. They're getting Greenlaw back as well. I think this could be Brandon Cook's game, and it's escaping me. But the other guy, Shavers, is that his name? The other wide receiver, tore his ACL.
Yep.
Tore his ACL, and now he's out. So I think this is only going to up more targets for Brandon Cooks in this game.
Yeah, and we had a chance to talk after the show yesterday about a guy like Brandon Cooks, and specifically Brandon Cooks. And you look at the options that Josh Allen has, right? Dawson Knox beat up, Dalton Kincaid beat up. You start looking at the other wide receivers, and who are you really going to throw to? And I think that's where we're getting after our discussion yesterday, I played Brandon Cooks all the way up to 70 yards at plus 254 because I think he goes off.
Yeah, I agree. And then, Shakir is there, and he had a big game last week, but I feel like Denver's really going to zero in on him. Dalton Kincaid is there as well. I think it's going to be Brandon Cooks. I think he's underutilized. I think it's a sneaky way to attack this game is looking at him. Of course, Josh Allen, if you're looking at rushing props, I would look at maybe his rushing props. But my guy in this game is going to be Brandon Cooks. And DG's put it in the chat. Okay, it's Montez Ford. But look, you added a crown. It looks like New Day's gear. Also, I saw Big E Langston.
Listen.
I did say it's a mix. It's a mix.
Listen, we are not going to have a Robby versus DG debate on which wrestler this is. All right. This is Robby's radar. This is what we're doing. And no, Joe, I don't have a jacket like this. If I did, I would definitely wear it on stage while I was playing. Let's go to our next one, because when I saw this graphic, I got to be honest, I got a little scared because I didn't know what was happening. This is Kenneth. This is a portrayal of Kenneth Walker as a wrestler who's going against the San Francisco 49ers. Let me be very clear. Don't sue us. This is not Kenneth Walker. Why do we like Walker in this spot?
Yeah, last week, Kyron Williams did get us a touchdown on Robby's radar, but for some reason, Sean McVay kept going to Blake Corum. Seattle needs to learn from his mistakes. Kenneth Walker is the best running back on this team. You have kept him injury-free for this moment. Seattle is a 7.5-point favorite. Give that man the ball and let him do his thing. He went off against the Niners the last time they played. Yep. I think it was a January 3rd, touched the rock 16 times for 97 yards on the ground and added 4 catches for 36 yards. The Niners defense is leaking pretty badly right now. Saquon Barkley went absolutely nuclear on him last week. Don't be stupid, Seattle. Give the ball to Kenneth Walker. I won't play his anytime touchdown because we all know the vulture, Charbonnet, is going to get the touchdown. But all the other props for Walker, I think, are in play this weekend.
Dude, I am listening to you, and then I see this. That's the Angry Friday Robby attire right there. And oh, my God. So which wrestler is this?
That is Big E Langston. At least I'm guessing that's Big E Langston. It looks like Big E Langston. All right. Former heavyweight champion. Poor guy broke his neck, and he's out.
All right, so there you go. All right, there's that. Wow, I love this segment for so many reasons. I really do. Our next one, we're going with Colby Parkinson of the Rams. They're taking on the Bears in Chicago. Cold weather game. Ugh. Why do you like a warm weather team here in this environment?
For exactly what you just said. It's going to be cold. Kobe has been quietly crushing his lines in his last few games. Had that big touchdown last week. And we all know how LA performs in cold weather. Matthew Stafford's still a little bit banged up, but I think they're going to have to get the tight end involved this week. Look for that middle of the field area to really kind of exploit this game. But the Bears haven't been too bad against tight ends in their last 2 games. But let me tell you, they haven't played anybody either. Prior to these last 2 games, they had Luke Musgrave and Anthony Ferkser. That's who they played. So don't look at the last 2 games for the Bears. I think Parkinson could be in for a big day this weekend.
So don't tell me, but I do believe.
You got it.
All right.
You got it.
All right. This is, as Boogie put it, can't see the sea.
Exactly.
Joe brings up a pretty good point. The white guy doesn't get the muscles?
I didn't make the graphics.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Just talking about him.
You know what? I think Joe then, that might have been a little premature, Joe, because let's go to our next.
Also, Christian McCaffrey last week, I think it was the most viewed short we had out of these, and he didn't have a shirt on either. So I think that's just the big cheesy tattoo.
I was going to say he had the big cheesy tattoo on there. So, listen, talk about a little stone cold Colston. Why do you like Colston Loveland here playing against the Rams?
Oh, hell yeah. Everybody said Tyler Warren is the rookie tight end of the year, and Colston Loveland said, hold my beer. Look, him and Caleb have developed a strong connection, especially over these last 3 weeks. His target share has gone from like 17% up to 45%. Yeah. There's something going on there with these two. They're finding ways. They're also an underdog at home, the Bears are. So I think you're going to have to get him involved. I think they're going to try to take away Odunze and Burden for the most part. The Rams are only allowing 38.5 receiving yards in their last 10 games. But again, here's some of the guys they faced. Anthony Ferkser, Jatavion Sanders, Tommy Tremble. None of those guys are scaring me. When they do face legit tight ends, Trey McBride goes off in both games. George Kittle went off in his game. Tyler Warren, guy I just mentioned, went off in his game. I think that this is another week that Colston Loveland can have a big game.
Yeah, I really do. I agree with you. I think that because of the weather, the weather's going to dictate. These guys are looking for short to mid-range passes. Those big chunk plays aren't going to be there. And if the Bears can establish a running game with Swift, I really do think that opens the door for Loveland to have a game, especially in those third down and long situations.
Yeah, and Loveland, to your point, in a way, he does have a longest reception. He's cleared it, I think, 3 straight games. He's getting behind the defenders. And so I really think you could even play that prop as well. But I don't know. I think Loveland's going to be in for a big game. Prop Stars is on Loveland's under. To each their own. I think there's too much going on right now with Caleb and Loveland. And I think this game's going to be really tight. The 4.5 underdog at home, I think, is going to open up a lot more opportunities for Loveland as well. And Cole Kmet in the rear view now. Used to it was Cole Kmet was going to eat into his target shares. Cole Kmet's not doing anything anymore.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that because do you worry about like a situation like that? But to your point, Kmet just has not been getting the percentage of snap share, especially he hasn't been getting the targets. Does that affect that play on Loveland at all?
I don't think so. I think Kmet is going to be more of their pass blocking, run blocking tight end as well, whereas Loveland is going to be the pass catching. That's how it should be, especially when you got 2 guys like that. I really still think, just given what we've seen the past 3 weeks, I think the connection is there with him and Caleb now. I think we could have seen this weeks ago if they had quit being stupid and stubborn and put Kmet in the backfield or put him in the review as well. But you can't argue a guy who's gone 90+ in his last 3 games, and he's seen like almost 40 targets in his last 3 games as well. For that to automatically just drop off is just crazy to me.
Gotcha. Speaking of crazy, and maybe not crazy, I'm going to ask you, because we've got McCaffrey over 41.5 receiving yards. This is from Big Cheesy, who's got a 2-hammer play on this one. Josh Allen, who you mentioned before, going over 36 rushing yards. Charbonnet, not Cabernet. Anytime touchdown. Bo Nix, 14 rushing yards. That doesn't seem like a stretch. And Kenneth Walker, 36 rushing yards, is a plus 800 5-man, 2-hammer, 2-unit parlay. Your thoughts?
Dude, I really love that. Will you put it back up there for me? Just so I can look at it again. I really love that. Bo Nix, if you're a member of Justice Stat Sports, I have a play very, very much aligned with that. Like I just said, Charbonnet, the vulture, will get a touchdown. He always does. CMC receiving is the best way to look. I think that's where he's going to thrive in that game this weekend. Josh Allen over 36. 36 for a QB is a big number, but if any QB can do it, it's definitely him. So I like that. I like that play a lot.
I trust you. I trust you. That's why you're the prop guy, because this is what you do. And speaking about things that people do, this is what Seabass does.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors: original, hot, and no salt. That's gonna turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
I'll tell you what, this is what I'm going with tonight. We're going back to the ice, and I am taking the Philadelphia Flyers and the Buffalo Sabres. The first period over 1.5. It's at -130. It's a little juicy, but listen to this. When you figure and factor in that the Philadelphia Flyers, in all of their road games this season, the over has hit in 97% of their road games this season. I will say that again. In all but one road game this season, the first period has hit to the over. How is that not a play? You want something else? These two teams have already played twice this year, once in Philadelphia, once in Buffalo. Guess what? The first period, when they played in Buffalo, saw 4 first period goals. They went down to Philadelphia. 2 first period goals. You want to know something else? They also had the goalie, Dan Vladar, playing for the Flyers, and UPL, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, playing for the Sabres. I love this spot. I also like the game to go over here, and I think it starts early and often. We see a ton of offense in this game. Give me the first period over 1.5 at -130. Rob, what do you?
I love that look. I love the over in that game as well. I'm going to go to my guy, and I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm going to go to Pavel Dorofeyev for 1+ point at -115. Look, I backed this guy twice last week, put it on the site twice last week. The day I didn't put it on the site, of course, he scores a goal and gets an assist on Sunday. That's nor here or there. We're going to keep this trainer rolling. He has 2 goals and 8 assists in his last 10 games. He's on that top power play line with Eichel, Stone, Marner, and Hurdle. And then the LA Kings have not been playing well as of late. They're kind of beat up, and Darcy Kemper's given up 4+ goals in his last 6 games. I think this is a great spot to back our guy Pavel. If you're looking for a long shot anytime goal scorer, I don't hate that as well. When he gets hot, he usually has a few games here and there that he can score some goals. So give me Mr. Pavel Dorofeyev 1+ point at -115.
I love that look. Simply because I agree with you. I think that they're going to see a ton of action in that game as well. Look, should we finish the poll now? Or you know what? No, we won't.
Okay.
We got one more. It's called a little light the
right.
lamp. Let's get to the little light the lamp. We've got Taj Thompson at +150. Jack Hughes of the Devils at 160. Jack Eichel, little Jack action at +170. That's from the Incredibles. For those of you, if you know, you know. Artemi Panarin at +180 and Travis Konechny at +240. Konechny.
Yep.
Sure it is.
It is.
Connect the dots. Rob, who do you like, or are you going off the board?
I am going off the board. And why not? Let's just stick with Pavel Dorofeyev, +230 on that top power play. The Kings are absolutely terrible right now against the power play. He has 6 goals and 3 assists in his last 5 versus LA. Let's just put everything on Pavel tonight.
I'll tell you where I am going, and that is with my man Panarin. Not Panera Bread, but Panarin. Why? I'm going to keep this simple. The Rangers have got to figure out their offense. They're playing at home against the Senators, a Senators team that could only muster up 2 goals last night. So I expect them to come in and not play a whole lot of defense against this Rangers team. Here's the most important factor here. Panarin owns the Senators. He has gotten a goal in 7 of the last 7 games he's seen him. Doesn't matter if he's playing in Ottawa or in New York. All he does is score goals. Your thoughts on Panarin?
What you just said, how many games in a row? 7 straight with a goal. He also has an assist in, I think, 7 of his last 10. You can get that at -125. And funny enough, you say Panarin, they call him the bread man because of how much he assists. So I think even if you're looking for another play tonight, I haven't played it, but -125 for Panarin to get an assist, I love that look as well.
All right. I like it. Nate says Jack Hughes hits tonight or he makes the list. Ugh. What do you think? First of all, is Jack Hughes on your list?
No, I'm kind of with Nate. He's too inconsistent. It seems like anytime I've been on him this season, he doesn't come through. Not only does he not come through, he just does nothing during that game. So if you're looking for a goal scorer in that game, I like Nico Hischier. That's the guy I like the most. He's shooting the puck the most for the Devils. That would be who I'd look at in that game.
And from Big Cheesy, we've got the Philadelphia Buffalo over 6 at -125. I like that. I also would not like the hook there for slightly better odds. I think you can get that at -105, if not even money, the 6.5. I think we see a ton of goals in this one, and it starts in the first period. So I like that Cheesy's giving me a 3-hammer look that kind of coincides, a little synergy with my play there.
Yeah, no, I love that look. And I think it was Ian Cameron of the Ice Guys. I think he made this stat. Philly is 10-1 to the over when they have lost a game and only scored 1 goal or less. So anytime they're coming off a loss where they didn't score any goals, they seem to always turn it up. So I love that over in that game. And you got 2 teams right now who are fighting for wild card spot. I mean, hell, Buffalo is one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now.
Right now. Yeah. And neither team has solid goalkeeping, which is the other piece. It's literally all they're winning games from their offense. Certainly not from their goaltending. Did we say Panera? Oh, a couple times. I'm sorry.
If I wanted a $25 ham sandwich, I would go somewhere else other than Panera because that's all they give me.
But Joe brings up a great point. Maybe they should have the Panera.
I take that back. I love you, Panera.
There should be a Panera sponsor. A Panera. They call it your daily bread.
Which is what we deliver too.
I'm just saying.
Make these bets.
Right. Your daily bread. Look, Rob, we've come to the end of this. What tonight is on Robbie's TV?
Oh, it's a gross slate in hockey. It's very gross. I will probably watch something with the boys and wait for that Vegas LA game to come on tonight because the other games just there's no interest for me in those other games. If I'm completely honest with you, there's no interest and there's not a lot player prop wise that I love. So probably going to be some wrestling with the boys tonight, doing some homework with them. And then I will watch that Vegas LA game because I think that could be probably one of the game of the night.
Okay.
Philly and Buffalo is good. I'll give you that. That's one that wouldn't be bad to keep on in the background. But yeah, overall, just an ugly slate.
So Derek brings up a great point. He's like, he just returned. We can't be done yet. Well, Derek, here's what I'm going to tell you. I am so glad that you're back because I don't know if you've noticed that you know what's happening tomorrow. But tomorrow, Robby and DG are breaking down the traders. And in full disclosure, I have already applied for the traders. I am actively working on trying to get on that show. You will start seeing on all of my social media posts, hashtag TradersUS. I am actively working. So if you see that on my social media timeline, please be so kind. Like it, share it, move it forward. I need to get the word out. Yes, I want to be on Traders bad. And I don't want to say, I think I got word today that Seabass might have had a scheduling conflict. So I don't know if he's going to be able to make it for tomorrow's show. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that he's able to. If not, he's going to be on the following week. But his wife, Candace, is one of the traders. So I just would say, go give all three of them are out on Netflix. Go see it. I do have to do this. We do have to bring an end to the poll.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the chat has spoken. There is absolutely almost zero trust in Brooklyn. Cooper Flagg got a third of the vote. Overwhelming majority voted for Xavier plus 7.5. I'm trying to see.
I picked Cooper Flagg. Shows what I know.
You went with Cooper Flagg? I'm trying to see who.
Yeah.
I don't even know
who's trying to figure out who they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
Playing Butler. Thank you, Miss Kim.
Oh, they're playing Butler. Okay.
Yep.
There we go. Oh, wow. So I do kind of like that because the model has that one with Butler winning, but by a slight margin. The 7.5 obviously tilts everything in our favor. So, all right. I will put that video together. That will drop here right after this show in a YouTube short. So make sure you got your notifications on. You don't want to miss that to get Robby's leg and my leg. But until tomorrow, right here at 2 o'clock.
Hey, real quick. So you'll have a link on your social so Derek can watch tomorrow. You go live, right? On X.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything's the same. It'll be at the same time, 2 p.m. Eastern, Weekday Wagers. It'll be streaming here on YouTube, streaming on X. It'll all be out there. Everything will be live, but we will be covering. I say we, you. I'll be in the chat, and DG will be covering the first 3 episodes of The Traders in the TV timeout segment. But we're also gonna have the best bets. We're gonna have everything else. A recap that'll be a lot of fun because it's gonna be a bunch of green check marks. So hell yeah, that's what we call another Wednesday here at the Weekday Wagers. Until then, listen, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. You're helping us grow each and every single day. Thank you so much.